You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Hi.
Angie Martinez.
Angie Mar.
Hello, family.
Well, this is exciting. Hey, Angie.
Is it exciting? I just saw you yesterday.
I know.
Envy, you stayed? I thought you was acting funny.
I know. I got to go.
He's going to walk out on you for sure.
Where are you going?
I'm going out the country. I'm going to Trinidad and Tobago.
He's being wild, vague.
Why are you going to Trinidad and Tobago?
I got to go.
It's not about you anyway.
I got to go to work. I got to make a little money. I got 5 kids. I got to make sure the boat stays running.
Angie Ma is nominated for the Radio Hall of Fame.
How amazing is that?
Nice.
It's long overdue.
And we all
You
have
should
to
be
make
in
sure
there.
So how do we make sure that you get inducted in?
I guess this is a voting thing. This is not my thing. Like I don't know. I'm excited. I don't know. Somebody nominated me,
tell us.
and now people have to vote, right? And now so people have to vote. You don't have the voting information?
I got it right here somewhere. Hold on.
You're supposed to know.
I don't know.
Don't you want people to vote for you?
I mean, it would be nice.
It's like I'm nominated.
You
If
know,
you vote,
you know
vote.
why?
Whatever.
You know why? Normally, I don't know. I don't like awards. I don't like doing speeches and stuff like that.
Angie
but
is too humble.
No, but what I realized, because when I got the nomination, I was like, oh wow, this is really nice. National Radio Hall of Fame. And then I started looking at all the pictures of all the people.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's a
I
big
realized that it is a big deal, but I also realized there's nobody that looked like me in there.
Yeah, that's
You know what
wild,
I'm
right?
saying?
Too many
Like-
minorities, huh?
So we
Not
gotta
that
start.
many. I mean, there's definitely shout out to Big Boy. He's in there.
Oh, Big
He's
Boy's
in it.
I know Robin from
Howard Stern.
Howard Stern. She's in.
Your old
Is-
friend Wendy Williams is in it.
Wendy's in it.
Yes.
National Wendy's in
Yep.
it. Why she my friend?
Why
Why
she
she
ain't
ain't your
like
friend?
Yeah.
Yep. You been to her house. You was closer.
Angie, I'm sure you've seen a picture of him sitting on her lap.
Did you
I'm
see that
sure.
picture?
I did it. Did it just come
let me
out?
show, let me show.
Let me see.
Yeah, I'll
Please let me
screenshot
see.
it.
He's sitting on
What
her
were you
lap.
doing
Hey,
on her
hey,
lap?
Waiting awkward,
Hey
like-
guys, I was a victim. Stop.
Let's
Trying to
go.
holler at one point.
He
Have
looks
you
like
had any of
a
your co-hosted on your lap, Ange? I'm just curious.
No.
he looks like a puppet. You know how they put the hand up
Wait,
the
did this
puppet's
just
butt
come
to make
out
the-
and I missed
I
it?
just seen it yesterday.
It's an old picture. I had it on my MySpace page. I guess somebody was on my MySpace.
MySpace. Look at
Is
this
it like a
picture.
googly eye type of sitting on your lap?
Nah.
All right, so voting.
She
told
told
me to
mom
sit
and son.
down.
Doesn't it look like
She
mom
said
and son?
sit down here?
She's bigger than me. What I'm supposed to do? I was intimidated.
It was weird. It's a little weird.
You look intimidated.
It looks awkward.
You look like shit. This could go in a way that I was not prepared for.
It looks like a little puppet.
Jesus Christ. Drake would definitely use that against me if he was in a rap
Okay,
battle.
By the
so-
way,
All right.
this is going to be the cover of Drake's
Let's
next.
make this.
Next single. I'm gonna send it to Drake right now.
Let's make this back about Angie
you
now.
You have been going Pusha heavy anyway.
But Angie, back to you.
Yes.
Okay. With this.
Oh, back to me.
the
Radio Hall of Fame. Anyway, what I was saying
I'm
is.
telling you how to vote.
Oh, how do you vote?
Okay, this is how you
She
guys
doesn't know how to
can,
vote for herself.
can vote for
I can't vote
Angie
for myself.
Martinez. Okay, make sure you go to radiovote.com or you can text 300. If you text 300, 300, you can vote for Angie Martinez by texting 300 to 96000.
You can't start voting till Monday though.
You know what? So Monday you start voting, and I think it's like 2 weeks or something that
Yeah, you
people
have
have
2
to
weeks,
vote.
Yeah,
Yeah,
June
from
4th.
June-
It starts
June-
June 4th through
Yeah.
June 18th.
June 4th to
Oh,
June
The
18th.
thing that's this chair
Sorry,
is
Which is
wild.
Monday.
You can start voting right now.
Start
Oh, yeah,
voting
yeah,
now.
yeah, because this airs on, this next
You
week.
guys,
We
you
really
can
got to
go
get our
radio
shit
together.
together.
You can
We
go
really
vote
got to get
now.
our shit together.
You can
Vote
start
now.
voting right now.
Right now.
You can vote now. But what I found out, which made me happy, is that people had to actually like campaign to get me in, to even get the nomination. And
That's
so then I
beautiful.
had heard like people that I don't even really see, like Julie, just random like people that you don't see a lot that are in the business that actually would like write letters and petition for you.
That's so dope.
I know I was so flattered by that people actually would take time out of their day to make sure that I would be.
What's interesting is most
Nominated
people would
for
think
that.
you would already be in there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how that works or how many years. And in any genre, if you are of the hip hop culture, you are always the last to get the. I mean,
That's
you know
true.
what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Yeah,
We
yeah,
are
yeah.
always the last.
Look at Kendrick Lamar. He just got
And
his
you-
Pulitzer Prize.
Jay just won the Writers Award. He was like the first
Right,
rapper ever.
but you have to, as a first rapper, you have to do 100 years in. I have to be on the radio for 150 years before somebody would be like, all right, maybe we'll take a look at her.
Absolutely.
And then there still has, and it has to be the people. It's always the people that pick us up, right? It's always the people that force them to look at us in that way. So
starting right now, listeners nationwide can vote for Miss Angie Martinez.
Yeah, man.
By text or via the website. And all the details are on power1051fm.com too, though.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, so
And
go vote.
Vote right now. Now, also, you got the Puerto Rican Day Parade.
It's coming on Sunday. We got the Power 105.1 float out there.
Are you going to be on the float this year? Because
I'm on the float every year.
I thought you took a year off.
I took 1 year off when my child was born.
Oh, okay.
Damn, Can she take a year off and have a
I just
baby?
remember just 1 year she wasn't there. It was just surprising. Like, Angie's not in the Puerto Rican Day Parade. Something's wrong.
If you
Like,
bring that up.
I just
That's
remember.
how they do you. It's like when 100,000 great comments and then one asshole in the comment that be envy.
Why would you bring that up? Remember that year you missed?
That 1 year. You've been putting in that work. Remember that 1 year? But
She has a whole campaign this year. She's coming up here to talk about it. Why would she miss it this year?
I don't want to ever miss it. I love the parade. And the thing about it this year is like this Puerto Rico's needs such attention. You know, when Maria first happened, everybody was there. We were all talking about it. It was on the news. Now it's like nowhere.
Right.
And I went a couple months ago with these kids from Rutgers University. They do this program where they install these solar panels. So we're going into these towns, and I'm like, holy shit, this whole town is still not lit up. Like, still. And you don't ever see it. And you know, the death toll they just announced was over 4,600 people
it
in
was crazy.
Harvard.
We didn't even know.
And the government, the U.S. government, was telling us there's 60-something people. 60-something of 4,600 is a huge
It's a lot of missing
difference.
people.
Yeah.
That's not like a small mistake. That's like that feels like
They don't
You know,
care.
Nobody cares,
Not
right?
Why
only
nobody's
that-
paying attention?
And why are we just hearing about that? Like just now.
I'm really grateful that Harvard did that because if not, then people wouldn't even understand how. I mean, just to put it like I saw Lauren Velez posted something about just to put it in perspective, like Katrina, I think was like 2,000 people lost their lives. Something similar to 9/11. I mean, more people lost their life in Puerto Rico. That's not to discredit. I mean, any life loss is horrible, right?
You're just trying to.
But just put it in
compare
perspective how tragic this situation was, and it's not being treated as such. And people are still, you know, they're still struggling out there. So I didn't want to just be at the parade waving the flag like, yo, we're here. Of course we're here, and we love Puerto Rico, and we're proud of that. But also this year, I just want to like really encourage people to help in some way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like in some capacity, find somebody you trust, find some organization. And it's really the people on the ground. Because the people the way they've been surviving is the people on the ground, like coming together and fixing the communities. And so if you could find like grassroots organizations, I'm doing another trip. We're going to go back with these panels. I mean, I found this school in Utuado. We were the first light bulb. Like, and this was just this is 6 months after Maria. We're the first light bulb in the whole place. These kids been going to school in the heat. 6 months, no air conditioning, no like nothing. Like still, this is one little town, just a small group of us. So I really want to go light up that whole school. There's such great kids there.
So what can we do?
But also, so I'm starting a GoFundMe. This is a small thing. I'm not with like some big organization. I'm literally putting these small trips together to go do a single school or whatever, you know. So it doesn't have to be mine. I'm doing a trip, and if you want to support me on that trip, you can. I'm doing a GoFundMe for it because it costs money. It costs money to not only buy the solar panel suitcases, but it costs money to send the kids out there who know how to put them in to install them and work with the community. So AngieMartinezShow.com. You can find the link to donate if you wanted to support that. But really, like, just do something.
Right.
And if you don't want to donate, like, go to Puerto Rico.
I went to Puerto Rico a couple of months ago also. Yeah, and I had a chance to talk to a lot of people there. They were telling me how their lives were affected as well. So,
But did you have a good time? Like, did you stay?
I actually did have a good time.
Yeah, you should
I love
go.
Puerto Rico. I used to go there every single year on vacation.
There's
so.
plenty of places that you could just support the economy, and because, the government's not doing
I also
it.
feel like there's all these places that we go to when we want to have fun and we want a vacation, and then something tragic happens. We should support those places that have been
That's where
so
they need it.
supportive of us coming over there.
You was just there like a couple weeks ago, right? Is it back up?
Months ago. Well, certain areas, yeah. There's certain areas. There's tourist areas you could go and visit and spend money and put money in the community. That's great. You could also, like, I went to Vieques, and one of the guys who owned the resort there, he was like, just please tell people to come. We're open. The pool's open. Like,
Yeah, because
they're just struggling trying to get it.
down,
And granted, there's tons of places in Vieques that there's still no lights, but there's tons of places that are and are operating. So it's like, go to Puerto Rico,
Yeah,
spend money
some
there,
money.
spend money, find, go for yourself and see. You'll have a great time. It's not like it's still a beautiful island, but it is an island that has been neglected. After a tragedy of this size, it's like it's really sad, and they treat it like it's not
It's part of the United States.
It's the United States.
They
When
don't
I
act
hear
like
people
it.
like
You don't need a passport to go there,
it's
guys.
terrible over there in that country. You mean the United States?
Right.
You mean Puerto Rico?
This is
It's like
that
what
country.
country? We're in the same country. Any other part of the country, this would be treated at a whole different level.
Oh,
We're so
100%.
spoiled here. The driver that drove me from the airport was telling me that he didn't have any power for 2 months. That's such a long time. He's fine now, but he was just saying that's such a long time. Imagine not having any power.
There's
running
people
without
right now
any
sitting
Oh,
power.
that's
there.
happened. I've been through that. Hurricane Hugo, baby. Charleston, South Carolina.
How long?
Late 80s.
No, how long?
No, how long
were
you
out?
had
long
no
did it last?
power?
Yeah, like 2
You were
months.
out 2 months,
Yeah,
2
Hurricane Hugo's a Category 5. Hell yeah.
Yeah, they are. So
100%.
people still there now, 7, 8 months still with no power,
Right.
and operating like little, clinics, health clinics. The one in Vieques, they're still like operating out of a parking lot at some, there's still a lot of struggle happening in Puerto Rico, and so I want to encourage people because we always celebrate Puerto Rico this time of
Right.
year. We go to the parade. We eat, we wave the flag, we dance, but also this is something still serious going on. And
Give them the
and they need
information
help.
one more time if they want to donate to GoFundMe.
Well, for my trip that we're setting up, you can go to the AngieMartinezShow.com. I have links there, and the link to the GoFundMe page.
And the Hall of Fame, how can they do that as well?
So if I'm sitting in front of the computer and I got one decision to make,
Uh-oh.
so I either got to give to the GoFundMe for Puerto Rico or vote for you for the Hall of Fame, what would you suggest people do?
Puerto Rico.
Hey, that's why you got to do both. That's why you got to do both. Because that's the type of person Angie is.
Oh, I love
Now, you had some crazy interviews in the last couple of months. One was Safari. We seen Safari cry on your show and broke the whole robbery story.
You did? That was so weird, right?
That was kind of shocking.
I feel like I can understand the tears.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
understood the tear. I just was not prepared
You didn't
for it. And this
anticipate.
is how I know we live a foul, just the way we're grown up. They told me, oh, he might not be in a good mood when he comes in because he got robbed last night. And to me, I'm like, oh, yeah, he got robbed last night. All right, cool.
Right. You
I
know,
didn't-
I thought it was the same day.
No, it was the night before.
Oh, nah, he wilding with the
So
tears.
I was in the room thinking, oh, he got robbed last night. He might not be his chipper self. But I definitely wasn't expecting him to come in still kind of.
Oh, I literally thought it was the same day. I thought
no, you know what? It was late at night.
It was
I
late
think
It was
night.
late at night. Then he went to the precinct. And I don't think he had slept.
Nah,
and then
got you,
he came
got you.
here. So I think it was all still kind of coming up. But I thought.
I commend him for being professional enough to not want to cancel on Angie and say, I don't care. I'm still going to do my interview. But he probably didn't think he was going to cry either, being that his uncle had just been killed in a similar fashion.
And it was
from
a lot.
Why
Halloween.
you crying, B? What's wrong with you? Why you crying, B?
First of all, I didn't say that.
You did say that.
I did not say
He
that.
was like, yo, B.
Yo, B.
I
Why
said
you
that?
crying, B?
I definitely didn't say
Yo,
that.
dead ass, you look mad soft
lying.
right now.
You just
Mad soft right now.
You just come in here and put false accusations and shit on them? What?
No, she didn't say that.
But you're right.
No, but I was shocked because we know people, people get robbed.
Every day, B.
Every day, B.
So I was like, oh, this is not what I didn't expect it. You know
People
what I'm
are
saying?
so heartless now, though, because they were really making fun of him.
I know, people are terrible.
Well, he got sexually assaulted kind of too because he said the guy poked him with the gun in his penis.
See, you go too far. See,
I
he did
didn't
not get
know
sexually
that.
assaulted.
Shut up.
That's
You
what he
made
told
that
us.
up.
He said
I
when
can't
did he
tell
say
when you're
that?
lying.
He did
Told
not.
us that.
The guy. Wait, when did he say that?
He said the guy poked him with the butt of the gun.
In his
I don't know.
penis?
That's
See,
what he said.
The butt
I
of the
don't
gun
know.
in the penis. You
I
hear
didn't
jokes?
know.
Oh, the barrel of the gun.
I've never heard this part of the story. I've never heard this
I
part of
can't
the
believe
story.
they're joking about this man
Wait,
getting robbed.
has Safari been here since then? No.
You just made Envy mad. He
No,
walked
he
out.
was here before because he had the girl here and the money.
Yeah, the money. Yeah, I don't remember.
Envy just walked out because he's mad. Good job,
He left.
guys.
That's as far as I got. And J. Cole was a great interview.
I loved my J. Cole interview.
J. Cole, you and him have like a rapport with each other. Like,
I like him. You know what I mean?
And you were on vacation,
I like
actually.
it. I was on vacation, so I was in a vibe, and I like him, and I trust him enough. You know how it is. Like, you sit with artists sometimes, and you have to lead the conversation, so you have to push the train. And with Cole, I have a certain level of comfort where I could just sit there and be with him and know that the conversation will just happen. It's like I don't have to push. You know how it is.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
Sometimes you have to lead an artist or lead a guest into a conversation, whereas I feel like Cole has enough to say, and he doesn't do a lot of interviews, so he has enough to say to be present, and that's what happened. So we were just I have great conversations with him on and off air, so I just wanted to let that happen.
what do you think of that trend of artists having just one particular person they want to talk to?
Oh, you have Kanye.
That's
You
what I'm
and
saying.
Kanye, that's
Yeah.
your man.
I guess.
That's your
Yeah, I
man.
guess. But
He's going to be our Kanye correspondent.
I
You're
guess.
a Kanye correspondent.
I guess. I don't know how that happens. I guess it kind of just happens. That's why I ask you, what do you think about that?
I mean, I think people are comfortable who they're comfortable with. I think.
True.
And you also have certain reports, but I don't think J. Cole's never going to do an interview with anybody else. I
I
just
haven't seen him do one. Last interview I remember him doing before this one was with you.
yes.
Yeah.
I was also the last interview.
Yeah, you didn't have dreads then.
Well, sounds like you're our J. Cole correspondent as well.
But other than that, I can
That's
think
a great honor. If I had to pick anybody, I'm glad it's him.
Right.
I enjoy that type of conversation. I need that. I need that type of conversation from me. You know what I mean? I don't know. What do you think about it?
I guess I kind of feel the same way, but then I would like to see
A different.
because I mean, different interviewers have different perspectives. They have different questions they may ask. So I don't know.
What would you have asked J. Cole?
I don't know. I like J. Cole. People think I don't like J. Cole, but
Because you give that off, that vibe.
I don't know why though. I mean, his music to me is like.
It's something
You don't
about
really
your
like
face
his-
and your tone.
He doesn't really like his albums too much. He always says
No,
that.
it's only one album I really didn't like. That was For Your Eyes Only. But like, I listen to J. Cole at a certain time. Like I call it TED Talk music. Like I love TED Talks, but I listen to TED
That
Talks at
doesn't
a
sound very
certain time.
complimentary.
TED Talks are great, but I
sounds
listen
like
to them
it's
at a
a
certain
speech.
time.
But I could tell. It's just like all of us could tell. I could tell who you really like, connect with, vibe with. And
I don't dislike
like
Cole.
you
though.
really like Pusha.
I like, but that's
You
historically.
have a great
though.
respect for Jay.
Of course.
You have I could tell the
How does
artist
he feel about
that
Drake?
Drake. He likes I think he likes Drake a little bit less than J. Cole.
I like Cole though. Cole from the Carolinas. I like Drake too, but come on, we can't act like Pusha's not out here doing what he's supposed to do.
Of course he is.
And
We love Pusha.
and doing what we thought he would
But
do.
I just think it's funny that we, from the outside, you can tell, or at least we have our. I'm sure
And those
people feel-
artists definitely
I'm
can
sure
tell.
people feel the same about me. Like, who do you like?
Who's
your person? Who's your artist?
Jay Electronica.
Jay Electronica is her guy.
But we would
That's
never
my
know because
guy.
Jay don't put out no music.
And
so
he
never,
doesn't do
We
interviews.
can never feel Yee's
He's
vibe.
actually in New York right now. He'll be performing.
He allegedly is
at Governor's
performing.
Ball.
Allegedly performing at
He's
Governor's
here.
Ball.
But
You know how many things Jay Electronica told me he was going to do and he didn't do? I
Yeah.
still bought the app when he was doing the walk, remember?
oh my gosh, that he tried to get us all to do this
I
walk
know.
from like New
What walk?
Orleans to Detroit or something.
He
Who
was
got
doing some
time?
big walk.
I was
know.
like, Jay, I gotta work.
He's
I have
such
a
an
show.
artist. He's
Now,
just
why,
like an
Why
artist.
didn't you go to Wyoming? I know we were all invited.
Why didn't you go?
Oh, well, I couldn't miss Kaiser's birthday. My Kaiser's one of my best
Me
friends.
too.
So
Me
the
too.
Kaiser birthday party, or
Kaiser Trump Kanye.
listen to Kanye's album, which was about to come out the next day anyway. You know, I'm gonna go with Kaiser.
Did you go?
You know it.
I'm
yes.
going.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Going. And
But I'm
interview.
going for work purposes.
Got it.
And then I'm going to do Bill Maher. Well, I did Bill Maher.
I love that.
Yes. And then I'm back here.
You did it already?
Doing
do it now.
tomorrow.
Angie,
Is it first
this,
time?
Yes.
Angie, this is airing Monday.
Oh, sorry.
What do you think of the Pusha Drake beef though?
This could change by next week, depending on Drake's response.
He put out a press
What did you
release
think about the
today.
black-
All right.
Blackface, Angie, I wanna-
Let me just go on the record and say this interview has been pre-recorded.
Yes.
Because I don't want to say something that I'm going to feel differently about next week. But let me say this. I didn't like that he put a press release out. I get it. He wanted to clear that up. I'd rather he just gave us the whole. I don't like piecemeal. I didn't like that Kanye piecemeal does his ideas about Trump. Like, just some shit is too sensitive.
I
Like,
agree.
Say what it is or don't say anything.
I
And
agree.
I feel like that, like Drake, just say what it is. Tell us your whole story. I don't like when things are sensitive like that when you piecemeal it. And it also made me feel like he was really bothered by this whole
He
thing.
was bothered.
I mean, he's been
So-
getting the picture removed from people's site. Like if you posted like different blogs and stuff like that, he's been actually getting it removed.
Well, we don't know that's him or the owner of the photo.
It's definitely not the owner of the
That's
photo.
speculation. No? You think Drake's at home?
yeah,
like,
Drake's like,
not Drake
"Take that
personally.
down."
this person has posted it.
But he
Yeah,
got
it
a
might be
team.
somebody from his team that decided to do that on their own.
If
He
he's
might not have
focusing
said-
on that, he's focusing on the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Yes, and the fact
He's
he put out a
focusing on the
whole
wrong thing.
statement, and like you said, that's such a sensitive thing.
But-
you got to explain that a little bit more.
Let me argue with you about something.
Okay.
Because I heard you say this earlier today about Drake. What has he done for
Black issues.
black issues
Yes.
or things? And I just feel like, and I had similar feelings about Drake.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want you to move me. I want you to inspire me. You're an incredible, dope artist. And I used to feel like that about him. And I slowly see him kind of evolving into that space. And I also feel like we got to let people get there.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? I think even Jay, for many years, he used to say, I don't want to be preachy
And he got a lot. Jay-Z used to get a lot of criticism
for that.
as
And he
well.
would do things quietly behind the
Yeah.
scenes, but he was never like a soapbox guy. He never wanted to be like the spokesperson. He would do shit, but he was always kind of reserved about, just standing next to too much stuff or whatever. And as he's evolved, I feel like he's done more and been more open about it. And I feel like Drake is on his path to that. You know what I'm saying? And I just wouldn't want to cut his legs off before
He did a whole
got.
statement
you're
about
right.
Alton Sterling when that happened, and I mean,
Well,
you
the
know,
reason I asked the question, because if you make that statement in 2007 and you say, I did this because I wanted to make a statement for black actors, and I'm like, well, if you felt that way about black issues then, what happened throughout your whole career thus far?
but I think he was talking about that was the field he was in. He was acting. So maybe it was what
But
he
you're a black
in
rapper in
particular about
America.
that.
Yeah, but
and
you know
also
how
it
that
might
is.
not.
If you're an artist too, you could be in a moment where you're like, I don't know why people treat me. We should do something, and then you just do it. And what year did Bamboozle come out?
2000.
And what year did that picture?
2007. But it
It's
also
very
might,
possible he was inspired by that.
it might not have been his
you know.
project also. Maybe it was someone else called him in to do a project in 2007. He's an actor.
Yeah.
Because he didn't say, I was producing a movie. Someone else might have did it. He said it was him and his friend who was also acting. And that was the premise of it.
I just need a little bit more when I see you in blackface, my brother. That's all.
No, that I feel you.
That's
on.
all.
And if he would have did that in the past few years, I'd have been like, fam, there's no, at this point, everybody knows. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that many years ago and at that age, it may have not been as clear to him at that point
I agree.
as it would be now.
And he's from Canada, so he probably really doesn't know the ramifications of blackface like that.
And also, everybody's a little more woke than they were back then.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
And
11
so
years
it's
ago was
like,
very different.
It was different. And people need to, like, I don't know. I just think now, it's like, you shouldn't be making no types of mistakes like that now.
Absolutely.
It is so clear now.
Right.
Absolutely.
I would hope anyway, because then again.
So if you're Drake now, do you respond?
Yes, you better.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just lay down for that.
After a press release, though, how do you come back after a press release?
I know. I wish I would have came after. I wish he would have dropped the song. Because how's he going to sound non-bothered?
Yeah.
Because that's how we want our rap beefs, right? We want our song. We don't want him to sound bothered. That's never a good start.
No.
What about the baby? Did that part bother you, that he has a child out there?
I feel bad for him because if it is true and he had this way of like, how am I going to share this with the public? He's probably dealing with it in a personal. If this is true, what we're getting, then you got to deal with that in your personal life first, in your family, and how you going to put it in your own head, and then you could decide how to put it out to the world. It's not his obligation to tell everybody right away. He probably got to figure that shit out. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Having a baby with somebody that you're not in a relationship with, that you probably don't know that well, that everybody's going to have something to say about your kid, about your life, about, that takes time to work all that out and then put it out there. So I can understand that.
No, Pusha T did that work for him.
And
now.
Push. I mean, it's a dirty world, this rap battle business. But
Pusha did well, man.
he did well. And it was very calculated.
Yes.
It was very, very calculated.
Yes, he Drake.
He did.
And so it's interesting to see Drake in this position now. Now I want to see how he responds. Because, we give him a lot of credit for the Meek situation. But it's not like Meek fought back. So, what happens, everybody got a plan until you get punched in the face.
And also, I have a theory. It's like, I think Drake always had, like he said, he had bars for artists ready. So I think he was ready for Pusha for that first round. And I think he probably heard.
Very true.
And so he was ready. He had his bars ready. He was like, oh, I can't wait. He, oh my God. And then
like
he was
really
comfortable and he had it in the
that
stash.
day.
And the same thing with Push. I think he had shit in the stash. He did his little bar in the line. He was like, if he comes for me, I'm ready. I got boom, 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 boom. He had his files, his categories ready. But if this goes a couple more rounds, I think that's when we see the difference between who.
I don't think it's working for Drake.
You don't.
No, I think Drake should tap out. I think Drake should tap out now.
Now?
Yes, and just
No,
you know why?
you can't.
Because it's still up in the air. Like nobody's a declared winner. Like Pusha put out Infrared, it was dope. Drake put out Duppy, it was dope. Drake put out the new freestyle, it was dope. Just tap out now. Say you feel like Pusha went too far with the MS stuff. You already got you already got real white. You tapped into your white side with the press statement. So just get even whiter. Just get even whiter and be like, yo, he went too far with the MS stuff. I don't want to take it there. I want to concentrate on my album. Boom, keep it moving.
I disagree. Because Drake doesn't want to be just a rapper. I think that Drake has been trying to work his way to he wants to be one of the ones.
The GOAT.
He can't be though now. Too much asterisk by
He
his name.
definitely can if he bows out.
But with the ghostwriting allegations, even though I don't put too much stock in that, but it's too much allegations for them to ever put him in that
You don't
class.
think
I feel like
writes
Drake
his
has
rhymes?
course he
to.
writes.
Drake has to respond. I feel like he does. He's a very
He
emotional
has to.
person. I can't picture him even not being able to want to do
But that's
that.
the thing. You don't want to do an emotional response. You're doing an emotional response. You're doing super ugly.
I'm not saying it's an emotional
You know?
response, but he's an emotional person who's going to have to respond.
No, he has to respond, and it has to be smart and witty and clever, and it has to be honest. He got to make people feel if I were him, I would put it all on the table. Like, yo, this is what I'm going through. This is my child. It's foul that he
own
did
your
it.
truth.
And then maybe hit him a couple times with a couple of jabs, and then pull on the heart. If I was advising him.
Right.
But honesty and realness always wins. You know what I'm saying? It might not win in that second, but the long run, it will win.
And the song better be dope. You better get it.
It got to be dope. But he knows how to make a dope song.
Right.
He knows how to do a melody. He knows a beat. His cadences, like, he knows how to do that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So if he just comes honest and hits with he just needs like 1 or 2 good jabs, that's enough. And then backs out. Back out.
He allegedly had a song about his son on his new album.
I know.
Pusha blew the whole roll. Pusha messed up the whole rollout.
Pusha, you are so foul for that. Push. And I love you. And your album is incredible, but you are so foul for
Plus,
that.
it's another part of me that's rooting for Push because Push is from our era.
Yeah,
And I like to see the older guys give it to the young boys every now and then because the young boys think that youth will win everything all the time.
Besides, you don't like Drake, so
Yeah,
I don't
that's
dislike him.
He don't like Drake.
I don't
don't
dislike
like
him. I was the one pushing the battle. I'm like, I would love to see Drake reply.
No, it is a good
Drake
battle.
need to
Pusha.
send some bottles up here again. Let's get it.
He's not.
Let's get it back.
No, he's not.
Now,
You're
Angie-
gonna have to work.
Angie
You're gonna have to
Martin-
work on your relationship with him.
I'm good. I think we're okay.
Angie Martinez Day is June 11th.
That's so crazy.
You got a date?
There's a day. I don't know. I don't know. There's a
We've been
day.
talking for 20 minutes and we just saying that?
I'm trying to get Angie don't like talking about herself. You see how she changed the whole
What else
subject?
Angie
I
got
want to talk
going
about
on?
Drake. I want to talk about Kanye. I want to talk about Charlamagne.
Angie Martinez Day is next week,
It's
April.
June 11th.
Next week.
It'll
Yes.
probably be June 11th, but it's
Yes.
fine. We don't know. We don't have a confirmation, so they're trying to say it's next week. But it'll happen
Wow. Drop one of the clues bombs for Angie Martinez
What should we
Day,
do on
June
that
11th.
day?
then. We should all not come
Have
to
drinks.
work. I don't know. I'm not. This is not my doing. So I don't know what's happening. I
Who's
heard
making the
this is
coquito?
happening.
Can we
That's
get you to
what
make
you think of?
coquito for your own day?
That's what you think of when you think of me. What type
Your
of shit?
coquito's good,
What type
Angie.
of stereotypical?
No, that's not true.
What
Your
type-
coquito is good. I've had it.
And let me
before.
tell you what else we're doing on Angie Martinez Day. We are texting 300
You gotta watch this guy.
to 96000 so we can vote for Angie Martinez. We're gonna also go really hard on Angie Martinez Day and
There-
that whole entire week.
We got to hang this up here.
What's very sweet about it is that there are a lot of people that are excited about this nomination for me and with me. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's people that are invested in me winning. Not
Can I ask
just-
you something, Angie?
Yeah.
And I was thinking about this as a woman myself. Do you think as women, for some reason, we try to
Excuse us,
downplay?
Charlamagne. Excuse
Okay.
us.
We try to downplay like our accomplishments and what we have going on. Because I find that like there's things that I do, but I don't like to talk about it because I'm like, I don't want to.
Yeah, because why? I just feel like I love what I do. I like to work. I never get too comfortable. I feel like, okay, I did something good last week and I could have a moment and be like, that was dope, but what am I going to do next week? And so I think when we sit too much and be like, oh, I don't know, just sit in our accomplishments, it slows you down. Like, I don't
But
want
also, it's more like you downplay it. Because I feel like a lot of times men are more programmed to be a lot more vocal about what they have going on, what they're doing, But I feel like women, for some reason, we feel like we have to be more humble and not talk about what.
Maybe
Because
you should learn to rap.
there's so many things.
Yeah, I know.
You
That's
can
why
brag
I
in
wasn't
your
a good
raps.
rapper. That's why I was never a good rapper. Because I could never be arrogant enough.
Right.
To,
But Angie,
to
you a good
myself.
rapper?
I'd be like, I
Okay.
can't say that. But nobody wants like a humble rapper.
But you
This
understand
doesn't-
what I'm saying? Because I do feel like that sometimes, like as women, I don't know if we
I don't
feel
know.
like we're programmed to just not, you know.
I don't
be
know.
like,
I was raised and I believe like the second you start reading your own press releases and feeling your own self is the second that gets wiped away from
But
you.
sometimes
agree.
people
You
need
know
to
what I
know
mean?
what you have going on.
Why?
Like, for you to say,
Why?
Listen, do you want to be in the Hall of Fame for radio?
I think it would be cool. Sure. Yes.
Text
Yes.
300 to 9600.
Like I would,
I think it would be cool.
because
but
it's like you're excited that people are excited about it, but
I'm
you
also
should,
excited. Let me tell you why I'm excited about it. So the local one, they have a New York Hall of Fame and a National Hall of Fame. The one that I got nominated for was the national one, but the New York one, I went to Syracuse, the broadcasting school.
I see this picture.
And I saw all the pictures of the people that were in the New York Broadcasting Hall of Fame, which I am not. And I thought to
That's
myself,
crazy.
and I thought,
That's insane.
and
You're
I
not in
thought-
the New York Hall of Fame, Radio Hall of Fame?
I know.
That's insane.
Let's
But
start
I
this
thought to
campaign.
myself, because I'm looking around, I see all these young girls, and I'm having these conversations with them, and they're telling me how they want to be in radio, or they want to be in television, and they're asking me advice, and I'm looking at the wall.
You're missing.
Not only am I not there, but there's nobody that looks like me there, and that bothered me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not even so much like I deserve to be on the wall. It's more like yes, I deserve to be on the wall, not because I'm some whatever, because I've put in the work, and
'Cause
also
you deserve
because
to be on the wall.
and because somebody in our, we're here, like we put this work in to inspire people, to bring people up with us, like for the next generation. So if you cut us off and we act like we're not here, we don't exist, then how is that supposed to inspire or elevate the next group of us? You know what I'm
Angie's so
saying?
humble that she won't even say that the girl she was talking to was saying, I want to be the next Angie Martinez. I know that's what they were saying, because that's what they say to me all the time. He's like, I want to be the next Angie Martinez. So I know they were saying that
Well,
to
I
you.
always tell them, don't be. It can't be. There's only one
Be
me.
next to
There's
you.
only one you. You got to be you. You got to figure out who you are, what your voice is, what you care about, and be that as much as you can be. Like, be yourself.
I can't believe you're not in the New York Radio Hall of Fame. To me, none of these Hall of Fames, Radio Hall of Fames have credibility if you're not in them. I truly, genuinely feel like that.
Thank you, man.
Especially in New York City, especially nationally, too.
How
Like,
can
come
we
on,
get
Angie
this done?
Martinez.
As a matter of fact, we're going to
but-
start that campaign as well simultaneously.
Thank you. But you know how it is, me. It's like it's a
No,
lot
I
of-
don't.
She just called
Really?
you B. You know how it is. Angie's from New York, for real.
But you do. It's like a lot of this is politics. A lot of this, we have to look at who makes those decisions, right? What do they look like? Where do they come from? What do they care about?
That's true.
That's
And
a
then
fact.
then there's your answer. And
Right.
that's not just with this Hall of Fame. That's with a lot of things. Like when you don't see people that look like you or where you're from or that you care about, that inspire you, you don't see them up there. Then ask yourself, who put those people? Who's in charge of that?
You got white people dictating the culture, basically.
And it's not
dictating
even
stuff
just
the
white
National
people, but
Radio
it's
Hall of Fame.
like what age group, what genre,
Gender,
what
yeah.
gender, all of that. Who are the people that just make those decisions? And then you can see why certain people are excluded from those. You know what I mean? Those things.
Well, speaking of accomplishments,
Anyway,
let's
so
talk
for that
about-
reason, I think
yes.
I am proud of it, and I am proud that people like rallied for me to even get the nomination. Like that's dope to me.
And so, speaking of accomplishments, let's talk about what else you have going on.
What do I have going on?
Because I've been hearing about this talk show that Angie Martinez is doing. How far along are we with that?
What we're doing? Okay, yeah.
She- I didn't tell her nothing.
You know, this shit is it's a process.
Okay.
But yes, it's what I'm supposed to do, right? Mm-hmm. My life.
Well, if you want to. There's-
No, it is. I feel
Okay.
like that. I will get a talk show at some point.
Natural transition.
Maybe it'll be on NBC, ABC. Maybe it'll be on YouTube. I don't know where it's going to be, but I know for myself that is the next. I'm trying to do it in the biggest way possible for the same reasons we were just talking about. I feel like our voices are not represented
100%.
well in certain spaces, and I don't know why. And then people use words like hip hop and culture, and then you look at the people that they put in those spaces, and you're like, I never came across that person
Exactly.
before.
Right.
What? And so I do feel a certain amount of I now, you say I'm humble or whatever, but there's a certain part of me that's like, who better than me? Like
Right.
who but me?
I agree.
To do that. Like I could do that. I could talk to all those people and talk to them in a realer way than we're seeing. And that's not to discredit anybody. That's just to say I come from a certain place. I come from a certain culture, and I don't see us represented in that space in that way. And I would love and be honored to be able to fill that space. And so I feel like that for me is what I'm supposed to be doing next.
Okay, good. That's what I want.
But you know how that is. It's like there's so many factors, there's so many people in charge,
It's a process, though.
and it takes time. But my truth is that's what I believe
It's the next
is
step
honestly that's what I believe has always been.
in the cards for you. Your destiny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that corny?
No, I
No,
think that's dope.
it's
And I
very
think you gotta
realistic.
Is
speak
that
those
corny?
things. That's why I want you to speak them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. When I think about my career and I think about all the things I've experienced in my life and my book and how people reacted to my book, I'm like,
Which should be a movie, by the way.
thank you, man.
That's coming next, right? Do
Get
we
on
have
board, Charlamagne. You out here making
I'm
moves?
there.
too? Okay. When I think about all the things that have led to my life to be here, I think to myself, oh, that's why. You know what I mean? When I see how people connected to my book and to my real story, and I don't know, I just feel like I have a unique space and a unique voice that represents a group of people that are underrepresented, and so I feel almost an obligation and a duty to be that.
100%.
Angie
I mean?
Martinez movie is gonna be so popping.
Oh, the book is crazy, and it's got to open up with the
that
best
movie,
scene. You
let
know
me
the
tell
scene.
you something.
But you guys, and I love y'all, and I love that you think like that, but let me tell you something. And if you say the crack scene, I'm going to kill you. But not, and you know this because you do work in the TV space. People don't see us the way we see ourselves. People don't understand us the way
No,
we
they
see
don't.
ourselves. Our culture, we do great things. We do it without, but when you're trying to break through past certain
Yeah.
walls, yo, you got to explain. Oh, so my name is Angie Martinez. Let me tell you why. Really?
Now is the best time, though.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right, but now is the best time because of Google. Because nobody wants to look culturally clueless. So they're like, oh, you walk in and you're like, yeah, I know you, Angie. Of course I know you.
Yeah, but they don't.
No.
They don't really.
They only know me from Google. They don't
Yeah.
know. They don't know. They don't know why I'm different than somebody else who's quote unquote. They like call us urban or
Yeah.
You know, it's dope. Like
they don't know the difference. To them, I'm the same thing as, and this is no disrespect to the girls that are real because I love the real, but they don't see the difference between me or the real or Wendy. Or when if you're of us, you know there's a big difference,
Yeah.
and that's not to say everybody's different. They should be. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
But to others, we are the same person, which is crazy.
100%.
the
Which
Angie
is
movie
crazy.
is dope just because you started off like just as such a young kid in this business during such a great era.
It was a good time.
You know, in hip hop, all the people that you knew, you were like the most powerful person in New York City when it came to hip hop. As far as breaking people and being there at the beginnings of people's
Angie and
career.
Flex.
And then
Yeah,
Yeah, I give Flex is just doing that.
I'm not here without Flex. Honestly.
and then having your own career as an artist too, even though you hate talking about that. But that's a
Yeah.
big deal also. That's so different than, and a successful one.
Yeah.
Not just, I tried to put out a couple of songs, but you had like videos and songs.
my friend Shaka, Shaka?
Yeah.
Shaka. Pilgrim.
Shaka.
When I was doing my book, I was letting her read it throughout the way. It was her and Miss Info, two people I really trusted, like, because they know me well. They know it's like, But Shaka was like, you're like the Forrest Gump of hip hop. Like, you. She's like, at any major moment, like you are connected in some way, in some capacity
real.
to all these things. And what a great life that is,
And
right?
all the beefs that were
like,
happening.
How dope is that? Like, to me,
That's real.
I'm grateful for that. Like, that's pretty, I don't know, it's pretty great. So when I do get to the movie or to that stage, I hope it's reflected that way.
Do you think it's the radio experience? You think people can't relate to the radio experience? Because like when I read your book and I read a story about like, the pepper spray incident at Madison Square Garden when Tata pepper sprayed R and then Jay came to the station, then Jay left and R left. I can feel that.
Because you know what that feels
You rushing
like.
to get to the station to get on the air because Jay wants to do an interview. I can feel that. I wonder if people just can't relate to the radio experience.
I think maybe partially it's that. And also I think it's like, I think it's that. And I also think they have to be taught that. They have to see it.
Yeah, when you see it, you'll feel it.
So the radio, right, especially back then, there was no video. And so a lot of those stories, they've gone away. Because,
Yeah.
like stories like now, like your Tekashi interview or Baby, that shit is on video. We're going to see it all the time. But when I had Jay-Z, R. Kelly in the middle of the night, because R. Kelly just got pepper sprayed, it's not on the internet.
Right.
That's crazy.
So the stories start to lose, which is really one of the reasons I wanted to write the book too. The stories start to lose the memory of it because there was no video. It was like Twitter. It was like right then. The radio was just like right then, and then it went away. So a lot, the J Nas battle.
Yeah.
The Locks and Puff. The Locks,
amazing.
The Locks saying they're gonna throw a refrigerator on Puff if you don't
Double
give us
door
a
joint.
publishing. That goes away. You know that because you're a radio, nerd. Like, but like most people don't remember that, and it's because. And so I am working on something to kind of like bring those stories back to life other than the book. So I got a couple projects that it's too soon. You're going to let me come back and when I can announce
Yes,
those
we
dates
will.
and all of that. But yeah, man, so you're really lucky, all of y'all, that all of your history is well documented because that like cements your legacy in a way that was more challenging for somebody like me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like necessary now, honestly. Like the
kind of a cheat
people
code,
pay
too.
so much attention to what happens online more than even sometimes I think when it's happening, live in the studio. Like for us, I feel like our videos go so much more viral. Like
Yeah.
people need to see it.
But that's great. Like you have the luxury of that because forever you have these visuals in your mind. I will forever remember what Baby looked like leaning back in his chair right here.
That wouldn't have had the same impact if it
wouldn't
wasn't
have had the same
video.
impact if it was just audio. People would have been talking about it for a while, but you don't see it.
You don't see the guys in the room standing behind him.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't see them
It's a
in
difference.
sync with each other.
Imagine
And
seeing Jada
so-
threaten to throw a refrigerator off the roof and then Puff
Right.
calling and telling them knock it off. They ain't gonna do
Which
nothing.
is why when we get this movie off the ground and you could actually see these lost stories come to life, then that's my most exciting. I'm excited to tell my story and document my story, but also bringing these stories to life that have kind of faded because there's like no visual of them anywhere on the internet.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Even now, by the way, if anybody's, because you have a very large audience, Breakfast Club, I am looking for my R. Kelly. So I had Jay-Z that night after the Garden. R. Kelly got pepper sprayed. I have the audio of Jay-Z's interview.
I heard that one.
The audio of R. Kelly's interview is missing.
I never heard that one. I never heard the R. Kelly one. I only know it because I read it in the book. I've heard the Jay-Z one.
You know why you don't know it? Because it's not on the internet.
Wow.
But it happened.
I remember
People
that.
who were in the city know
I
it
remember
happened.
that.
I can tell you what
No,
Jay-Z
Jay
said at the
was
end of
like,
the interview.
Jay was like, good luck with R. Kelly. I'm out of here.
Yeah, he was like, I meet me at the 40-40.
Yeah, and I'm out.
That's the last thing he said.
And then about 20 minutes later, R. Kelly walked in.
Yep.
And everybody said I was biased, and I probably was because I didn't believe him. I was trying to be fair, but he had just been pepper sprayed. His eyes
couldn't
were
really see that
he
well.
couldn't see. And he's telling the story about how somebody was showing him a gun in the audience. Like, the interview was crazy. And I went through all my files and all my DATs and cassettes and all of that, and we can't find it anywhere. But I know somebody in New York.
Somebody definitely has
Somebody has it, and I hope that it shows up somewhere.
What you willing to pay for it, Angie?
I mean, a cool 100.
100,000. I'll never forget that day too, because that actually
Some tickets to Powerhouse.
when Angie was doing that interview, that was the same day I actually got offered my first job in radio at Sirius.
Really?
That same day, yeah.
Of the R. Kelly Jay-Z interview? That's crazy.
Yep.
Wow. I just would like to say I'm not willing to be extorted, though, for that tape.
She's like, let me just continue talking about this extortion. But
Somebody got it. I never heard that interview. I've always heard the Jay one. I didn't even know R. Kelly came until I
Yeah.
read your book.
Find it for me, Sean.
We're going to get it. We're going to find it.
Okay.
Well, listen, hashtag vote for Angie. Text 300 to 9600
guys.
or vote at
96,000.
radiovote.com.
96000.
What am I saying?
You
That
said
is 96,000. Text 300 to 96,000, 96000, or vote at radiovote.com. Let's get Angie in the National Radio Hall of Fame, man.
Thanks,
And then we'll
guys.
get her in that New York one as well. We're going to work on that next.
Oh, you're gonna do all of that?
Yeah,
I
we're
will
gonna
see
work
you
on that next.
I will see you at the Puerto Rican Day Parade, everybody. Shout out to the whole Power family who's gonna be there. Look for us in the Power 105.1 Flow and support Puerto Rico in any way you can. You can go and see what I'm doing in Puerto Rico at the AngieMartinezShow.com.
It's the legendary Angie Martinez.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you,
Breakfast
thank you.
Club.